Oh, wow. Wow.
Did we just see what we think we saw? There are some major takeaways that we must understand from this moment in Oscar history. Welcome to the channel, Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help managers become more confident leaders, and I do that with no-nonsense sense, if that makes any sense. Let's talk about a few things. First, let's make the assumption that that was real, because here's the thing. Will Smith is an Academy Award-winning actor. But let's make the assumption that this was in fact real and raw. The first thing, which is not a leadership lesson, but the first thing I want a lot of you to understand. The internet, social media has made it very easy for people to talk shit and think that it's okay. Now, what's the leadership lesson here? There's two people we're talking about, Chris Rock and Will Smith. First leadership lesson from Will Smith's side. Now, on social media, I hear a lot of people saying there's no place for violence. I get that. There's no reason for him to act like that. I can understand it. It was just a joke. Noted. But there comes a time when you as a leader, whether that be a leader of a household, a leader of a team, a leader of a group of friends, you stand up for what you believe in. There's a saying that if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Will Smith, in this moment, drew a very real line for people to understand. Jokes are jokes, that's fine. But when they're personal, in the sense of somebody that you love, you truly love the person, and they're going through really serious hard times, and somebody's poking fun at that. If that's my wife, I'm slapping the shit out of you. Without question. If that's my team at work, I am defending you. I'm not saying we're getting into a physical altercation at work, but leaders will defend their team. Leaders will stand up for what is right. Leaders will make sure you understand if you're crossing them and their team. They will make sure you understand that. Will Smith is an idol for me. One time my brother's like, oh yeah, every time there's a Will Smith movie, Mike thinks that he's Will Smith, he's the main character. But I can relate to him so much. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't shocked by what I saw. I'd be lying if I thought maybe it hurt me a little bit by what I saw. But I'll tell you this, I respect this man a million times more because he stood up for his family. He stood up for his wife, he stood up for his team, and he made damn sure that you knew there is now a line in the sand and don't cross it. And if you're gonna cross it, you better have hands because they're coming to you. Now, the second leadership lesson comes from Chris Rock. He took a hit. From what it looks like, he took a hit. He carried on. He kept his composure. I don't know if I would have been able to do it, but reports are coming out now saying that Chris Rock has refused to press charges. You know why this is a leadership lesson? In my opinion, Chris Rock realized he crossed the line. Chris Rock understands that he was very much a part of this situation. You will not always cross individuals. You will not always find a man who can take a slap and realize he asked for it. I very much respect the way, at the moment, that Chris Rock has reacted. He kept his composure. Very, very important for leaders to do when situations, come out of left field. But it's very important to keep your composure when the shit's hitting the fan. But it's also extremely important for people of leadership to admit, to acknowledge when they've made a mistake, when they've crossed the line. Sure, Chris Rock absolutely could have sent a message to the world that he's pressing charges and nobody gets to lay hands because listen, Chris Rock's a comedian. Comedians tell jokes and some of the jokes you're not gonna like, but that does not mean you get to throw hands at the comedian. On the flip side, Chris Rock, in my opinion, acknowledged he crossed the line. Acknowledged that maybe he didn't see the slap coming and maybe he doesn't feel he totally deserves that, but he understands why. So that in this moment are two extremely important lessons in leadership that I I don't know if you can tell. I am passionate about it. It makes sense to me. I appreciate both sides of this in the sense of stand up for your team, stand up for those you love, and do not worry about the world and how they think you should or should not act. Because if those people have an opinion, they better sit down because they now know we ain't having it. And on the flip side, it takes a leader. It takes a strong individual to acknowledge the error in their ways. And that is exactly what Chris Rock has done, at least up until this point. So I wish the situation did not happen. But at the same time, I really believe each of those men, the way I see it, are fantastic in how they handled their approach. Whether you like violence or not, irrelevant. We're talking about somebody who stands up for their team, regardless of the outcome. And for all of you, I know not you because you're watching this video, but for all of the keyboard warriors out there that think that they can just say whatever they want to say, take note. There may be a time that the keyboard's not in front of you, but the actual person that you've been talking shit about is in front of you, and you might get a smack. And I hope it wakes you up to realize that words have power, and the smack coming out of nowhere has equal power. So I'm just saying. I'm just trying to protect you. That's today's video. Check this video out so that you know or you confirm you are doing the right thing. You are a good manager. Okay, ciao.